The following is a DW Old Testament production. The Hebrews probably camped outside the city walls of Haran, where they could graze their animals and set up their camp. There they stayed for many seasons, and each year their number increased. This was an excellent location for trade and a good place to settle due to the fertile land. Terah eventually died here at Haran, and Abraham, his eldest son, assumed the leadership of the tribe. Becoming weary of the Amorites, the Hebrews began to long for a land of their own. It was at this time that Abraham began having revelations and commands by God. Now the Lord said to Abram, "Go from your city to the land that I will show you, and I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you, and I will make your name great." So Abram went as the Lord had told him. Genesis 12:1. At 75 years old, Abraham departed Haran with his tribe and headed west and then south. The men led their flocks and donkeys, which were packed with all of the portable possessions they owned, such as tents, blankets, food, cooking utensils, and tradable goods. They must have stopped in Damascus, for at that time its amply watered location made it the main caravan city on a trail from Haran to Canaan. Situated on a plain that is very fertile by Near East standards, Damascus must have impressed Abraham. Known as the City of Donkeys, as the Assyrians were to later call it, this was where the caravans bound west for Canaan and Egypt were outfitted. The city consisted of large open squares and dark narrow streets where men and women from a dozen different tribes settled to live and trade. This was a very popular cosmopolitan location. Continuing his journey south, Abraham and his tribe stocked up on supplies and left the city on a precisely planned route. Except for the Jordan River, fresh water was only available at jealously guarded wells and springs. The right to use them had to be delicately negotiated. At first, Abraham might have traveled with one of the large donkey caravans that regularly left the city. One caravan might include up to 3,000 donkeys, but 500 and 600 were more common. They would cover about 15 miles a day. Traveling within sight of the 10,000-foot heights of Mount Hermon, the fields gave way to a series of relatively barren grayish hills outlined by dry riverbeds. This region, in turn, merged into the forbidding Syrian desert, where greenery disappeared from Damascus. When Abraham saw the hills of Canaan appear behind a ridge, he knew they had finally arrived at the frontier of the Promised Land.